Here, let's go around the
Ensuring
table
that.
on the question, what's your body count?
My husband.
Okay, one.
Nice.
Into the mic.
I will give a sorry. I will
Range.
give a bracket. I
Sure.
will not give a number.
That's fine.
I've done about 50 scenes.
Okay.
And I've had about 50 to 100 private partners.
Okay.
I became sexually active at 13.
Okay.
So that's,
Do you want to do that? Maybe a range type of thing?
Hell no.
Question.
Not with these people.
Who's these people?
This entire situation, hell no. I'm not going to put myself on a cross like that in front of you guys.
I've done
Not
porn.
putting-
so-
no,
Continue
there's
down
no
the
cross.
line. Yes.
There's no cross.
Let's respect.
I
No,
have
let's.
standards.
No, I
Let's
respect that.
respect
Yeah, I
her
respect
her
that.
boundary.
Yeah.
Let's respect her boundary.
Stop.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
The only,
no.
and also,
well,
I'm
hold on,
I
comfortable.
don't like that
hold on.
question either. I
That
don't like
question's
that
super
question.
offensive, and I won't let you
Yeah,
double
I
down
don't
on
like
it
that
with me. Keep
question.
going.
What question?
Yeah.
Like
It's a
asking
woman's
people for their
private
body
business. You
count.
don't ever ask
And I
someone.
gave you
It's
an
like you don't
answer.
ask
The
a
answer
woman
is I
her
don't
weight.
wanna tell you.
Hold on. First off.
You
first
asked
off,
earlier, is it okay if I ask about your weight? Why didn't you ask her about that? It's the
what?
same thing. You asked
Ask
me
about-
earlier how much do you weigh now, if that's okay. That's
Well,
my
because your
personal
guys'
body.
first off, we're on the podcast having a debate and discussion about
I know.
this.
I'm just bringing
So
up a same
You guys
point.
don't need to like try to do some shaming and guilt like type of thing. Like if she doesn't want to answer, that's totally fine. I moved on, but then when you decided to give a range, I then brought it back to her. If she
Yeah.
felt more comfortable to give a range, if she doesn't want to answer, that's totally fine. Of course, I'm always curious when if somebody states that body count doesn't matter, then shouldn't you ought to? Be
Context,
feeling-
I don't feel safe in this situation.
You don't feel
I don't feel emotionally
safe?
safe in
That's
this
why I
situation.
jumped in because
don't
I know how
feel
she is.
safe.
If she doesn't feel safe, I'm going to protect her. That's why
Yeah,
I'm
and I'm
jumping
not
in.
gonna. I'm just not gonna
Yep.
open myself to trauma, right?
if she
like
said
I don't
no
want
once,
to.
she said
I'm
no.
trying to
She
avoid
shouldn't have to say it more than
unnecessary
once.
trauma in my life. So that question, thank you. Please move on. We discussed not picking up trauma for no reason as you go. That's part of it.
You're not obliged to answer the question. That's totally fine. But
Yeah.
I don't need the corresponding attitude that comes with your refusal to answer the
I think
question.
it's only
if you don't
'cause
want to
she
answer
you
the
kept
question,
I feel
Asking,
put
that's
on
why.
the spot right now, and I feel like why don't we just move on with this conversation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, I'm going to continue the conversation. If you don't want to answer the actual question that's directed at you,
I don't.
That's fine. However, I'm going to continue talking about.
Super hard for us women to talk about this because we are shamed for it. We are shamed for our sexuality. I'm sorry, but
Not
I'm
by
gonna
you,
put it out
everyone
there.
else.
Not by you. I'm not saying this is.
Yes, but men are discerning,
society.
just as women are discerning when it comes to who they choose to partner with. So just women have preferences, standards, and stop
saying
interrupting.
it's-
Just as women have plenty of standards, preferences, and boundaries, so too do men. Men are allowed to have preferences, standards, and boundaries when it comes to who they sleep with, have long-term relationships with, and marry. And one of those factors that's very important for men is past promiscuity, current promiscuity, and body count.
But there is a difference. If you ask a man who's on here, if she was a guy and you asked him and he said, I had 100, dudes on here in the comments will be fucking, you're the king.
Yeah,
If a
there's
woman-
differences.
No.
There's differences.
Yes, they are. But if a woman says she has a 200, she's a whore.
Yep.
So,
That's
and
well,
I'm not.
I can tell you why.
Yes,
But why is it
you don't
okay
have
for a
to.
man?
So,
Well,
because
I-
this
okay,
is what
so-
I'm saying. Whatever. It's she doesn't want to talk about it because she doesn't want to, and
That's fine.
final.
That's totally cool. I don't need the corresponding attitude. In any case, to answer your question, why is there this supposed double standard? And so I don't think that it's actually desirable for men to be particularly promiscuous and sleep with a bunch of women. My own personal standard is if I sleep with a girl, I want there to be continuity.
Yeah, of
I want to
course.
continue seeing her, so I'm not interested in just going from chick to chick to chick, just like
But not
one night stand, one night
everybody
stand,
is
one night
as
stand. Sure,
respectful
but
as
I
you are,
okay,
unfortunately.
but sure, but I don't think it's necessarily like it's not fucking high value or alpha. Like if you just sleep with a bunch of women and get herpes, and you're now bringing herpes to all your future partners.
no, I'm not
That's
saying
not,
you are.
No. Okay, so but
Not at
I
all.
can explain why this double standard exists, and it's primarily because getting sex for women is incredibly easy, whereas it's
I agree.
comparatively speaking, it's much harder for men.
Agreed.
Any woman, if she was so inclined, could be a slut. Not every guy can be a slut.
Agreed.
There are men who significantly struggle with dating, getting laid. Any woman, she can be overweight, she can be ugly. If she wants to, she can be a slut. Not every guy, her male looks equivalent, could not easily be a slut.
I don't disagree with you. The issue here is not all men are respectful in the way you are, where you actually want to meet somebody and have a connection.
Okay.
And that's the men that come at us with the attitude.
Yeah, but men get shamed for all kinds of things also.
They're not. I'm not saying they're not. I'm absolutely not saying, but
It's not affecting their
If we-
insecurities
okay.
and their confidence
If
the way it
we-
affects us.
Let me ask
That's
the
what it
table a
is.
question. Is hookup culture a bad thing?
yes.
Terrible.
Okay, so you cannot have the corresponding belief that hookup culture is a bad thing, but we can, but shaming the behavior that facilitates hookup culture is undesirable. Shame is a very powerful tool, and frankly, I think we ought to shame. Let's say I'm trying to figure out how I best want to frame this. We should bring back shaming.
Yeah.
I'm in
mean,
favor of shaming.
I do agree with you. The thing is, all women are different, right? All women
can you
have
give me a bottle of water?
gone through different trauma when it comes to relationships and when it comes to sexuality. And I
Okay.
think, well, they have.
Sure,
There
yeah,
is-
sure.
As well as men have. I'm not saying men are not without sexual trauma. Women and men don't talk about it, which is a shame because I think they should, because there is sexual trauma for men as well,
Bro,
and it
why-
should be discussed. But I'm not going any bad way. I'm just trying to say that we want to discuss different things.
Derpington 701 donated $100. Kendra, this is Brian's podcast. We understand you are triggered by the question. You are the guest. Be respectful and don't give him that sass while telling him what to do on his show.
It's called
Wait, does he think I'm Kendra?
No, it's me.
I don't
Because
know.
I
Knows
just
you're
popped
Kendra.
off.
Okay.
Actually, well, it was you three and then you being like the sisterhood when
I
it
mean,
came to this question. But
It's all, we're here for a reason to have heated discussions and get there. If you found it disrespectful, I'm sorry.
We're sorry.
I was just
we did not
getting.
mean
I
to
just
disrespect
didn't
Yeah,
want to
you.
answer.
and I'm apologizing to you, not them, because they're the ones paying to talk. So go ahead, keep paying to talk to us. I appreciate it. Thank you.
but Carla, I mean, or
Kendra.
no, well, you're
Oh,
Carla.
Carla.
You objected to me asking this question. Perhaps you think it's rude to ask a woman's body count, but I mean, in one of your videos, which we're going to get to here in a sec, you say that within my understanding, you advise women within the first 3 dates to your husband, if I recall, you found out his credit score, his bank statements.
Hell yeah.
You found out how much money he
Everything.
had saved.
Everything. Yeah.
Okay, so if women are able to ask that question, I think
I
men
didn't
are
ask the
just as.
question.
Huh?
I didn't ask that question.
Oh,
though.
well, he
showed
just
me.
shared it.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
that's fine.
Shared it. No.
He was proud. He was proud. He was confident.
Okay.
So yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
that's
Sure,
a
that's
man.
fine.
Do you
but if-
advocate for women asking for that information?
So usually, that's a great question. I usually say no. I say that a man who's like happy where he's at, where like we want to meet men who are at their peak. I say they will naturally just show you, and you'll if you are like.
I'm not showing that shit.
Well, no. I know. It depends, right? It depends. It depends. And and it depends what type of woman you have in front of you, because you'd be surprised when you find that woman that like truly like inspires you to be the best man you want to be. Like you do things that you never thought you would, and that's a man in love. So I actually tell my ladies to not ask, to let him kind of like show you, because I think it's a little rude. And most of the time, provider mindset men or men who are at their peak and extremely confident where they are, and they want that woman, they want to show them their resources. This is what I got. Is this enough for you? Because that's what he's saying. Whenever a man shows you everything, he's like, is this enough for you? Can you live within my means? Can you live within this?
Okay, we can come to that later. So going around the table, you said that there were 50. You did 50 scenes and 50 to 100 in your private
And that's
life.
people, not men.
Sure. What about you?
Okay, I'm just gonna say
Hell yeah, let's fucking go. Okay, there
I
you
don't
go.
really care because I respect myself now. I used to
Oh,
not really
oh,
respect
saved by the
Infantry for
TTS.
Life donated $101. Concerning the two 403s, if body count is deemed insignificant, discussions should be less sensitive.
It's true.
It's evident that the matter holds importance despite attempts to downplay it. Filthy.
That's true. That's true. If it didn't matter, it wouldn't be such a touchy subject. Go ahead.
Anyway, it's 28. I used to not have very good respect for myself when I was younger, and I wish I would have gone back and been able to told my younger self, respect yourself, and it's going to be okay, and you'll find someone good. So
28. Okay, well, first off, I just want to say I appreciate your honesty because and for being willing to answer the question, because certainly, you know, there's some people have hesitation when it comes to answering that, and I certainly appreciate your candor and forthcomingness with answering that question. So,
Yeah,
respect,
just shows,
like honesty, always respect on honesty. So
it seems like you've done a lot of like emotional work to work through that.
Absolutely, I
So
have. I've been through a lot.
I think it's
like,
important.
and I'm reading the chat here. All the chat, they're saying like respect.
Yeah, exactly.
They're respect for the honesty. So,
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Appreciate it. Yeah.
But one question: you're currently saving yourself for marriage.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
I'll
do you
wait.
think you'll like follow through with that? You think?
I would like to.
I mean, if the peace ring didn't happen, you would have. Let's be real.
Yeah, I would have.
Yeah.
I would really like
she
to
was
be led
holding
by
out
a
that
good
long.
man. Yeah,
Okay.
I would.
I have faith in you. You did it.
Okay.
I mean, I know how I have
Wait.
willpower to do it. So
And was this like, was there a, because we've heard, you know, there's these terms, was there a phase that,
Oh.
like a bulk of these?
Yes.
yes.
Was there a
A
phase?
certain
Yes.
like
There
5
was.
years.
Well, because you're 22, correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So was there a phase, like, were you in college? Did you go to college?
No, I actually went through firefighting school.
Oh,
That's
firefighter.
Really?
amazing.
Yes.
Good for you.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a lot
Are you a
of fun. I
firefighter?
loved it. I used to just do volunteering for about 4 years, but I went through firefighting school right after I got out of high school, and it was awesome, but the pay wasn't good enough, so I decided to branch out and do my own thing. But I still go out and see the guys and say hi at the station and stuff, so I'm still part of that
That's so cool.
community.
Okay. All right. So tell us about the phase. Was there a phase?
There was.
What
in
was-
high school.
It was in high school.
High
it was
school.
like junior year.
Wait, so okay, you're
so-
22, so junior year, so you were what, 17?
Yeah, 16, 17, right when I got a car, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, I wanted
When
to
you got
have
the car,
fun and
freedom.
It
Freedom.
lasted about
Freedom.
it lasted like a couple months. It was like a party phase. It wasn't all the guys in the couple months, but I wanted to have fun and see what was out there. And I was like, nah, this is not for me.
By the time you graduated high school, by the time you're 18, if you had to put a number to it, do you know how many?
I would say like 14 probably when I graduated.
14?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 14 when you graduated.
It was
okay.
really sporadic. I really tried to date people, and it's like they would just leave. And I do believe, like, if you give it up quick, a guy will almost not respect you and almost leave in a way.
Not necessarily.
And
I don't think so.
some guys.
I don't think so.
Some guys.
I think all my long-term relationships.
Yeah. Well, I had to learn.
Second-
Special. You're special.
I'm a
That's
special
most men,
boy.
though.
Yeah.
It is true, and I know coming
men
from
are
me,
like
it's a little
that.
ironic, but since I got single, I've been making everyone wait 2 to 3 months, and it's worked pretty fucking good.
Well, I mean, it's
For what I need out of it.
some
For what I need out of
guys.
it.
Like, if you respect yourself, people will respect you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a big part of it. And
I
I,
don't-
I
I
did
don't
not
think-
respect myself back then.
So I think some men use the whole, if she sleeps with a guy too soon, sleeps with me too soon, I don't respect her thing. I don't really think that that's the best metric for assessing somebody's long-term potential. Me personally, I think that there's much stronger indicators when it comes to long-term compatibility or values or, you know, potential promiscuity than the rapidity with which somebody sleeps with you. Because I mean, there's my own personal experience, most of my long-term relationships, many of which were very healthy and fantastic.
Yeah.
Second date, you know, second time hanging out. So there's definitely much better there's much better things that you can look at to assess for potential promiscuity, for example.
I agree with
Yeah.
that as well.
And also, I'm just not a big fan of like arbitrarily waiting. So,
Yeah.
it's just, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Well, yeah. It honestly, I guess it just depends on like your partner and also their beliefs when you come into a new relationship.
Sure.
Like you want to respect them so that they respect you as well. I mean, obviously the last guy I was seeing, we decided to have sex and do that as well because we had a lot of strong feelings for each other, and
Yeah.
sometimes that can get overwhelming and you do it and it happens,
Okay.
obviously.
All right.
But if
Okay.
I'm with someone that also would want to wait till marriage just like I do, if I get into that relationship, then I will, and I'll respect that.
okay. What about you?
Probably between 25 and 30.
Okay.
I'm 40,
Respect
but
the honesty. Thank you.
but also I was in a bad place when most of that happened. My mom was super abusive, so I just tried to find love wherever I could, and I thought that was the right way to do it, because if guys want to have sex with me, that means I'm worth something, you know, because of my mom. But yeah, I wish I didn't? Yeah, of course. But you know, you live and learn, and
Yeah.
that's the way it is.
8. I'm not so interesting.
Okay.
You're still interesting? Of course. I bet those are the best date of your life, baby.
So don't, I know you're gonna like hate me for this, but I don't feel comfortable with talking about stuff like that because I know my husband's watching and I want to respect him.
That's fine. Mason?
Oh yeah, 0.
0.
The hand.
Pamela Henderson.
Okay.
Good for you.
Okay. Yeah, all right. I think we covered body count pretty much.